The Sorento is Kia's mid-size crossover SUV, and for 2021 is an all-new 4th generation vehicle. Let's dive into it. All right, and before we get into this specific vehicle, let's talk about the different trim levels offered in the new Sorento. First, you have an LX, and then an S, and then an EX, an SX, the SX Prestige, and what we're driving here, the X-Line. All of those models come in a front-wheel drive configuration, except for the SX Prestige and the X-Line, which are standard with all-wheel drive. So with that, let's talk about this vehicle specifically. We'll look at the exterior design. We'll take a look under the hood at the engine. We'll take a look at the cargo space, the quality of the interior, the tech inside this thing. Then we'll take it for a drive. We might do a little bit of off-roading here since it is the X-Line, and we'll wrap up the video talking about the price, competition, and some of my final thoughts. Let's go. All right, let's start off the exterior talking about this color. It is called Aruba Green. It's basically like a forest green, very dark, but definitely green. I think it looks really good on this, especially that X-Line. I really do like off-roading vehicles that have that forest green color, so I definitely like this one. With the new 2021 design, we have a modernized Tiger Nose grille with new I-line DRL details, and the grille is wider, extending into the headlights and hood structure. This X-Line trim gives you distinctive front and rear bumper fascias. You also get a 1-inch increase in ride height with improved approach and departure angles. We have matte trim accents all around the vehicle. We have exclusive X-Line roof rails that will actually support more than the standard roof rails. The new platform has an extended wheelbase of 1.4 inches over the previous generation. I'm really a big fan of these new LED projection headlights and taillights and fog lights. All LED on this trim, which I think make it look that much more premium and that much better. These wheels are 20-inch matte finished alloy wheels, and I like that darker color with this dark green and the dark accents. It wraps the whole vehicle together. You also get this nice detail on the side with the X-Line badge. These mirrors do fold on lock, which I love. It is a keyless entry system, so you can just push a button on the door to unlock and lock. And then around the back, you have the SXTGDI badge, you have the Sorento badge, and the all-wheel drive badge. This is more of the off-roading package and not really a sport package, so you don't get any really fancy exhaust here, just the one outlet here on the passenger side. And since we're in the back, let's take a look at the hatch and the cargo volume here. Now this is a automatic popping, hands-free cargo area. Stand here for a few seconds with the key in your pocket and it will pop for you without you touching any buttons. There is a button to pop it right here, as well as a button to close and lock. Now, as far as cargo volume goes, behind that third row seat, you get 12.6 cubic feet of cargo space. If you fold that down, you can get 38.6 behind that second row. Fold the second row down, you get a total of 75.5 cubic feet of cargo volume. Now, if you're going to be using that third row a lot and carrying a lot of stuff, this is not the vehicle for you. You might want to look at the Telluride, as it has about 20 cubic feet of cargo volume behind its third row. This one is pretty small, pretty tight, but on average for its class. And in just a second, we'll jump into that third row seat and show you the amount of space that you have back there for a passenger. So if you're a family and you need the 3 rows, but you also want cargo volume, definitely consider something a bit larger. But before we jump inside, let's go ahead and check out what's under the hood. All right, and under the hood here, we have the 2.5 liter turbocharged engine. That's 281 horsepower, 311 foot-pounds of torque, matched up to an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. And this setup here with a towing package can tow up to 3,500 pounds. Now there are quite a few other options for the Sorento as far as engines, including a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated engine that pushes 191 horsepower and 181 foot-pounds of torque. You can also get a 1.6 liter turbocharged hybrid engine, and that pushes about 227 horsepower. And you also have the option of a 1.6 liter turbocharged plug-in hybrid engine. So even if you're going for super green, the Sorento's got you covered. But with that, let's close up the hood and jump inside those rear seats, start talking about the interior of the Sorento. All right, and this is a 3-row, 6-passenger setup here, because we do have the captain's chairs up front, and the rear seats accommodate 2. If you get the bench up front, then obviously it becomes a 7-passenger. All right, guys, so we do have the X-Line rust interior package. We get a lot of nice things with that. This ashwood trimming, really nice. These brown leather seats, perforated leather, nice stitching, heated and cooled seats, power adjustable seats, very nice, very comfortable. We get a leather wrapped steering wheel with white stitching, heated steering wheel. We get special aluminum sport pedals and a Bose premium audio system, as well as that panoramic sunroof, which we already looked at. A lot of great features in this Kia, and again, a really nice looking interior. Let's go ahead and kick it on. It is a push button start, and we'll take a look at some of the tech in here. All right, so there is some really nice tech in this vehicle, starting out with the 10.25 inch touchscreen navigation system. This screen looks really cool, and I don't know how well you can see it, but you got the time, temperature over here, you have driver profiles, and over here, very lightly, you have your navigation kind of blended in with the background with this purple graphic coming up. It looks really cool, really modern and techy. We can take a look at the full map right there. Nice, bright, and sharp. We've got a lot of navigation settings. We have our radio here, which I think looks really cool. I like these old tube looking indicators here with the numbers in there in amber. We have our different media, including some sounds of nature here, which are kind of interesting. At least I can play them without worrying about copyright on YouTube. Obviously, we do also have Apple CarPlay here. It just takes up one side of the screen, and then you have another side that you can toggle through different things that you might want to see here. But it is a really nice system. I like the colors, I like the graphics, and it's pretty responsive. And you do get different driver profiles, which is really cool. Of course, you can also use that screen for the 360 surround view monitor. So when you go into reverse, you see the backup camera and a 360 view. But you can toggle your views as well to see exactly what you're looking for. And you can toggle the camera on without putting it into reverse. Moving down from that is all your AC and heat controls. And then down even further, here is your heated seat and cooled seat controls. You can also see we've got 3 USB chargers. The middle one is where you hook up to the infotainment system. We also have a wireless charger here. Throw your phone down there and it will wirelessly charge. Or if you're not into any of that, you can close it all up. And of course, moving even further down, you have your traditional gear shift here, cup holders, and then because we're in the X-Line, we have the terrain control here. You've got eco, you've got snow, you have comfort, you have sport, and a smart setting. You also have a center diff lock. And most of the week I've driven it in eco, but we'll talk more about these as we take this thing for a drive. Continuing to move back, we have our heated steering wheel button, auto hold button, our hill descent control button, electronic parking brake, parking sensors. That's the button for the cameras that we touched earlier, and you can turn off the auto start stop feature right there. Next is the console, which is a decent size. Nothing too special there, but it is a nice soft console. And finally, let's talk about that steering wheel. Like I said, it's leather wrapped. It is a heated steering wheel. You have a lot of your functional buttons on here, from your cruise control settings, your lane keeping settings, your distance for your radar guided cruise control, mode for the infotainment system, volume rockers, all your standard controls here. You do get paddle shifters back here. I basically went the entire week with never touching those. And then finally, behind that steering wheel is a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. Again, I think this looks really nice, very sharp, nice colors. It will actually change depending on what driving mode you're in, which is cool, and it's got some cool animations here. You can also toggle through some pages to show you different information depending on what you're doing. But again, all the graphics are really nice. And I quite like the digital instrument cluster, so I like this one. On the other side of the steering wheel, you've got this extra little piece that sticks out right here, which would have been great for another screen that told you some information. Obviously, we don't have that. It's just part of the aesthetic, but that would have been cool, as a lot of vehicles nowadays are incorporating something like that. But who knows, maybe in a future model. All right, but with that, I think it is time to put this thing into gear. Let's get it out on the road and talk about how it drives. All right, guys, so first off, this is a nice driving crossover. It's very comfortable, not rough at all, very low road noise and wind noise, and that 2.5 turbo under the hood is pretty peppy. Again, most of the week I've driven this thing in eco mode, just because it doesn't really hamper the sportiness if you really put your foot into it. But let's go ahead and put it into sport mode. Let's do a quick acceleration test on a little bit of a straight road here. And 1, 2, 3, go. Definitely turbo lag, but it's going. And 60. So again, it's not a sports SUV, but it's pretty quick with that 2.5 turbo engine. Comfort mode quietens it all down, and then eco mode obviously is going to be your most economical mode, even though most of the time I drive with the auto shut off turned off, just because it annoys me sometimes, but that's kind of a personal preference there. Fuel economy wise, you're looking at 21 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway, with a combined rating of 24. Now, you might have already seen, but we've been averaging 20 miles to the gallon during our full week with this thing. And that's a little unfair because we do let it idle as we take in video and pictures and stuff like that. We push it a little bit harder than maybe normal, just to do some testing like we just did. But I see about 2021 being a pretty good average for this vehicle, especially this one with the all-wheel drive, the X-Line package. But if you're looking for fuel economy, they do have the hybrid and plug-in hybrid options that you should definitely take a look at. Personally, I think that 20 miles per gallon combined isn't terrible. If you can get up to 24, that's actually pretty good. But for the capabilities of what you're getting here, plus it being a 3-row SUV, I'm not too upset with that. You do get really good driver assist features and safety features here. We got the lane keep assist. It will actually move the steering wheel for you and keep you in the lane. You've got the radar guided cruise control that will keep you a certain distance from the car in front of you. You've got blind spot monitoring. You've got collision assist and parking sensors that will warn you 360 of the vehicle. Obviously that 360 camera. Lots of great day-to-day safety features. And again, some nice off-roading tech, like that locking center diff. This snow mode is special to the X-Line as well. And of course, with this X-Line having that extra inch of ground clearance and the better approach and departure angles, it's a little bit more peace of mind if you do got to get this thing off-road a bit. But let's go find a place that we can at least put this into some dirt or into some grass and feel a little bit of that off-roadiness. Although I don't have a great place to do any really good off-road testing around here. And we'll talk a little bit about how it feels. All right, guys, well, that was fun. Let's now go find a place to park. Let's talk about the price of the vehicle, some of the competition out there, and then we'll start wrapping this video up. All right, guys, and with all of that, let's talk about the price and competition. So base price for one of the base Sorentos is $29,300. Obviously, this is a lot more. This is the top of the line. Base price, if you're looking for the X-Line, is $42,590. And with the couple of options plus destination charges, for this one, the total MSRP is $44,285. And quite frankly, that's not bad for everything that you get, especially when you compare it to some of the competition. So you can compare it to other three-row SUVs like the Toyota Highlander, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Ford Explorer, and even the Hyundai Santa Fe. Out of all those, I think the Jeep Grand Cherokee is the one that I would definitely choose over this vehicle. It is a little bit bigger. It definitely can handle off-roading better because it is a Jeep, but it's also a lot more expensive. The Santa Fe also is a really great option in this category. I do like the styling of the Kia more than I do the Hyundai, but both have really great interiors, are priced well, and drive really good. The new Highlander I have reviewed. There should be a video linked in the description or up in the iCards for that if you're interested in checking that one out. It's a good enough vehicle as it is. If you're going for straight quality, better cargo volume, maybe more family-focused technology, that Highlander is a great option there. And the new Explorer I actually haven't driven yet. I know it's a really good vehicle. It is actually rear-wheel drive versus this front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive platform. But again, I really haven't been in the newest Explorer, so I can't tell you too much about the tech or interior there, but I have heard very good praise for it. But with that, let's jump out of this vehicle and I'll give you some of my final thoughts and we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, so after a full week, I thoroughly enjoyed the new Sorento. I really like the new looks. I actually think it has a very Dodge Charger-esque look, very muscular, very manly, and for it being a more adventurous off-roading trim, that I definitely like as well. Obviously, we didn't get to do any really hardcore off-roading. I don't know how well this would handle even more than it already does, but I have done some pretty heavy stuff in the new Santa Fe. You might have seen that video come out already, and I think the platform can handle quite a lot more than anybody's actually going to put it through, so that's a really good thing. But I'm interested to hear in what you guys think, so make sure you leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're into vehicle reviews. Go check out TXGARAGE.com for more reviews, written reviews, as well as news and event coverage. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.